afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Carlos Ornelas. Welcome to our first annual Paso del Norte press conference with the principal. We welcome Paso del Norte's journalism department, which includes Ms. Cho's arts class, newspaper students, and Ms. Colon's broadcast students. Now join me in welcoming our esteemed principal, Mr. Vasquez.
Thank you, Carlos. Thank you, everybody. Well, thank you for having me here today. I'm honored and flattered that you would take the time to have this press conference with me. So do you all have any questions for me? Brianna Rodriguez.
Goals as a principal this year?
My goals are to help us get to the next level academically. We did a great job last year on the STAR test across the board, 3rd through 8th grades. Our little ones did a great job on the iStation and all the other tests. My goal is just to build on the great things that you've already accomplished here and hopefully get us to that next level. Let's see. Christian Johnson.
Hello, Mr. Vasquez. Christian Johnson from 8th grade athletes. What about PDN made you want to join our team?
You know what? That's a great question. I had been at my previous school, Horizon Heights, as the principal for 5 years, but I felt it was time to move on and have another challenge. And I looked at different schools that were available, but one of the things that attracted me to this school is I wanted to learn about middle school. I'd been at the elementary level for 19 years. I had been at the high school. I was an assistant principal at El Dorado High School for a little less than a year, and I'd done elementary and high school, but had never done middle school. So I wanted to learn about middle school students, the middle school curriculum, and this I thought was a great fit for me. So thank you for asking. Next question, Angela Munoz.
Good afternoon, Mr. Vasquez. Angela from 8th grade. What does it feel like to be a new principal?
It's great. It's exciting. It's there's a lot of challenges ahead. Anytime you come to a new school, there's different. Everything's new. So you have to learn about as much as you can about the school, the staff, the environment, and then just figure how can I fit in and how can I make an impact? What kind of things can I do? What does the school need from me, and how can I contribute to the school? So it's been a lot of learning for me on what the needs are. So I spent the summer speaking to about half the staff here. I've already had 2 meetings with parents, spoken to several parents, been meeting the students here. You guys have been great. And so I'm just learning as much as I can about the school. So it's been very exciting, my start here. So I've been very happy to be here. Let's get Trinity Corona.
Hello, Mr. Vasquez. Trinity here. I was wondering, how are you liking our school so far?
I love it. I I was, like I say, I've never done K-8 before, never done middle school before. So, when you walk into the unknown, when you walk into a situation that you're not familiar with, you're always a little nervous. But everybody has been great, very welcoming to me. I remember the first day that I came when they introduced me, when I first got the job here, I had a ton of middle school students, maybe some of you all were there, but just come up to me and introduce yourselves, shake my hand. It's been, so you all have been very welcoming. The students, the parents have been great, very welcoming to me. The teachers have been outstanding. I've had a great start to the school. Any more questions? Let's get from the back. Let's get Jonathan Guzman.
Mr. Vasquez, Jonathan Guzman here. What is your favorite part of the day?
My favorite part of the day probably is lunch. And I don't mean my lunch. I mean your lunch. I'm out there from the time kindergarten goes to lunch till the time 8th grade goes, 7th and 8th grade go in from lunch. So I'm out there that whole time, and for me, that's been my favorite part because I like getting to know the students. I'm getting to meet you all, getting to know you all. That's my time with you. The other part, it's tough because it's the work. You know, I stay late. I get here. I'm here before 7 every morning. I'm here till about 6ish every evening, and that's the work part, the hard part. My favorite part is being out there with you all. Any more questions? Let's get Mariana Gaitan.
Vasquez, I'm Mariana Gaitan from 8th grader. I want to know if you speak Spanish.
I don't speak it very well. I grew up in El Paso, went to Riverside High School. I should know Spanish very well, but when I was younger, my parents didn't speak Spanish to us at home. They only spoke English to us. In my neighborhood, they just spoke English. So I didn't really grow up speaking Spanish. But when I first got my first job at a grocery store, at Smith's grocery store, it's not there anymore. The customers mostly spoke Spanish. So I had to learn Spanish real fast. And then, of course, being in education for this long, I've had to learn it. So I've learned it, but not as, and I don't speak it as well as I should. But I'm still practicing. Are there any more questions? Natalie de la Torre.
Hello, Natalie here. Mr. Vasquez, what are some negative and positive things about having both middle school and elementary combined?
What a great question. The positives are that I see, it's almost like a family type atmosphere. When you go to just a regular middle school, 6th, 7th, and 8th, you don't have that family type of small, close-knit atmosphere that you have here. You see the little ones here with the big ones, and they interact with each other, and that's neat to see. Because you all still, I think, fit in with the little ones, and they look, and you serve as their role models. So I like seeing that. The hard parts are just trying to balance. It's basically two schools. You have an elementary school and a middle school. So you're in charge of almost like two schools. So that makes it hard in terms of planning, in terms of working with teachers. You have to think. I'm an elementary guy mostly, so I think elementary. But now I'm starting to have to think like a middle school principal. So that's been a challenge for me, and a challenge in running a K school.
Thank you.
Thank you. Great question. Are there any more questions? Let's get Akina Furuichi.
Hi, Mr. Vasquez. Akina, 8th grade. What did you hear about our school, PDN, before you came here?
Heard a lot of great things. I know your former principal, Ms. Williams. We were both principals together and always see her at principals' meetings. And we got to talk a lot. And I heard nothing but great things about the school and about the students and the staff. So it was all positive. So that's another thing that somebody asked earlier, what attracted me to the school. That's another thing, too, is basically what I had heard from your former principal and looking at your scores and all that. A lot of good things going on. All right, any more questions? Let's get to Sal.
Hi, Mr. Vasquez. I'm Sal from 8th grade, and my question to you is, are you planning in making any more fields?
What a great question, and as a matter of fact, I am. I've been working with some engineers and the district, and we're getting a baseball field and a softball field this year. Are there any baseball or softball players in here? Awesome. We're getting a baseball and softball field. I just had a meeting yesterday with some of the contractors. It looks like construction is going to begin in October, and the fields should be completed hopefully by the time baseball and softball season start around February. Thank you. Are there any more questions? Let's get to the back. Let's get to Josh.
Hello, Mr. Vasquez. I'm Joshua Millen. I was wondering, what is your favorite TV genre?
I like comedies. But I don't see a whole lot of shows. Probably the show I see on a regular basis is Modern Family. Love Modern Family. I see a lot of news. My family hates it, but I'm a news junkie, and all I want to do when I get home is watch news, and they make me change it. But either I guess news or comedy. All right, any more questions? Let's get Leah.
Mr. Vasquez, how does it feel to come from an elementary school to a middle school?
It's been great. I know I've been saying that a lot, but it has been. One of the things, and don't take offense to anybody here in the room, one of the things that everybody asks me when they ask me, hey, how are things going at your new school? How are those middle school students? And then they don't say it with a nice tone. And I said, they're awesome. I said, they're great. I said, from the get-go, they've been very polite. They've been just very, very nice. So that's been the neat thing, is getting to know you all and going to your games. I've gone to some volleyball games, went to the football game last weekend. So that's been the neat part of coming from elementary to the K-8, is learning the whole middle school part of the school. Thank you. Any more questions? Let's get Brenton.
Hello, Mr. Vasquez. My name is Brenton. What's your favorite football team?
My favorite football team, and I hope I hear a lot of applause here when I say this. I better not hear any boos, but my favorite team is the Dallas Cowboys. Ladies, how are you here? All right. Any more? Do we have any more questions? Let's get Leslie.
Good afternoon, Mr. Vasquez. My name is Leslie Reyes, and I'm an 8th grader. My question to you is, what are your ideas of activities for this middle school?
One of the things that I want to do here is meet with middle school teachers, the counselor, Miss Nooney, who covers middle school, Miss Nunez, Mr. Sherwood. One of the things that I want to do is what I've heard is that K-8, middle school students in K-8, they don't really experience they don't have the whole middle school experience, I guess I should say. There's some things that other middle schools do that we don't really do because we're K-8. So I kind of want to bring some of those types of activities or ideas out here. The one big thing I know a lot of you have asked me about, and I'm really seriously looking at, is an 8th grade prom. So that's one big thing. And from the students I've asked, that's something that I feel that you all want. Does that sound right? So I would like to do that. That's one thing. Somebody had also mentioned to me having some sort of a homecoming for former students. That's something that I would like to consider as well. So I want to give you guys opportunities that you maybe haven't had in the past, but that other middle school students do have. Are there any more questions? Let's get Brittany.
My question is, did you ever imagine yourself as a principal when you were younger?
Never. My mom was a teacher for over 30 years, and so as a teenager, she would tell me, she said, you should consider becoming a teacher. I said, Mom, I never want to be a teacher, never. And so, what did I do? I became a teacher. I I was a 3rd grade teacher and a 5th grade teacher, and then I started going for my master's degree after I, started teaching a few years. And somebody said, you should think about becoming a principal. I said, I'd never want to be a principal. Who would want to have that job? And so I went to school and started learning more. And I said, okay, well, maybe that's something I would want to do. And so finished my master's degree, became an assistant principal, did that for 5 years, and then have been a principal for 6 years. But so my answer is no. As a kid, I never wanted to be a principal. I either wanted to be a fireman or an astronaut when I was a kid. Yeah. Thank you. Let's get Sylvia.
Sylvia, 8th grade. What's your impression of our middle school students?
Yeah, great. You guys have been awesome. When I'm out there at lunch, you all have been, y'all come talk to me and say hi. When I'm in the hallways, you all give me high fives. Middle school kids sometimes get a bad rap that you're, this and that and disrespectful and all sorts of other things. But I have not seen that, not once, from any of you. Y'all have been very respectful to me. Anytime you speak to me, it's always in a polite tone. I hope we see this throughout the year, even in May. I expect to see this type of stuff in May. Y'all have been very polite and very welcoming to me, so I've had a great experience with you. All right, let's get Jose.
Hi, Mr. Vasquez. Jose Guadian here, 8th grade theater arts student. I would like to know, what are your plans on increasing technology in our school?
Good question. Every year we get a budget at our school. Literally hundreds of thousands of dollars come into the school. And it sounds like a lot, but really it goes quickly because there's things that we have to buy like paper and some things you wouldn't think about. Paper, glue, scissors, construction paper, and that goes quickly. But I've set aside about $50,000 to upgrade our technology. The first thing that we're going to be doing, and I just signed off on these requests, I'm going to get new projectors for all of the 3rd through 8th grade classrooms. I've been to some of those classrooms, and you can hardly even see what's on the screen. So I'm upgrading the technology there. It's a process. So by the time they come in, to the time we install them and everything, it's going to be a few months. It'll be probably in phases. So I'm hoping by Christmas they'll be all up. I'm also upgrading our technology, all of our computers in this lab here in the library. And that'll have brand new computers, but those computers in there we'll put into the classrooms because they're still pretty good. I might need to increase the memory on those computers. So, but hopefully by those being newer, it'll help you in the classrooms better. So those are my plans. Good. Matthew.
Dominguez from the 8th grade football team and the 8th grade band. From these two biggest comic book industries, DC and Marvel, who do you salute the most, Marvel or DC, and why?
Who are like the superheroes, like Superman and all that? Is that
Superman, Batman is in DC universe, and Iron Man, Spider-Man,
as I don't read a whole lot of comic books, but as a kid I used to read a little bit of Spider-Man. So that's Marvel. So I'll probably have to go with Marvel. Yeah. Let me ask. So like when I go to the movies and see where those guys, the Iron Man and all that, is it Avengers? The Avengers. Is that with anybody? Is that Marvel? Then I guess I'm gonna have to go with Marvel. Yeah. All right, Brandon.
Hi, Mr. Vasquez. I'm Brandon, and my question for you today is: what were your extracurricular activities when you were in school?
I was in band when I was in 6th and 7th grade. I played the trumpet, so I did that, and then I played a little bit of sports. I played basketball in middle school, and then in high school I was getting hurt and all that. So I played tennis actually, believe it or not, in high school. I was the team captain of the Riverside tennis team back in high school. So those were the things I did. All right, Victoria.
Hi, Mr. Vasquez. I'm Victoria from 8th grade, and my question for you is, what is the difference in work environment from our school and your previous school?
It's busy here. There's always lots of things going on. I have to say both schools are very positive, and that's what I like. I like to bring. I think schools should be happy places. I think we need to promote that as the adults. That we're working with kids, with students, and we need to create a positive environment for our students. And that's something that I worked hard at my old school, and that's something that I see here already. That it is very positive, and that's just something I want to add to. I think the school's in great shape with the things we're doing. And one of the things I was worried about was the climate, the atmosphere here, and I wasn't sure what it would be like. But I've been happy to see that it has been positive, and I just want to contribute to that environment. I think that makes for a great workplace for our teachers and a great place to learn for our students. Thank you, everybody. Great questions. I appreciate the time that you took and the thoughtfulness of your questions. I was very impressed. Good job, ladies.